What's going on, everyone? And today is Frequently Asked Questions Friday. So every Friday I'm going to answer as many questions as possible within 5 minutes. These are questions that I've received from either social media, from the YouTube channel, even personally. Some people reach out and ask me these questions. I do have over 10 years of experience in the field. Should be of a little help for most people. All right, let's get to it.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we going.
All right, so the first question we have is, what do you suggest is a good/great way to burn belly naturally? There's not such thing as a spot training, meaning I just want to burn my stomach fat or something like that, which is usually the one that most people ask. But you can train your core to do two things: build muscle in that area. Muscle is this big, fat is this big. So if you build muscle in that area while building the muscle and while dropping a little bit of fat, you're gonna get smaller. So that's one way to get to do it. Another way is to overall just drop your body fat percentage, meaning train all around full body exercises and just go from being possibly 25% body fat to 20% body fat. That's another way. But the problem with that is if you don't train your core, some people, what happens is your body fat percentage drops, but then your stomach's still there. And that leads me to the most important one, which is diet. So if some foods make you bloat, or if you're eating a whole lot of bad foods, then at the end of the day, it won't matter how you're training so much, because at the end of the day, you're going to have more body fat. You know what I mean? So one, change up how you train. Make sure that you're focusing on drawing your belly button in and using your core to build muscle in that area, and actually also you're gonna look slimmer because of your posture. All right, and two, if you want to just drop your overall body fat, just train. But the most important one is gonna be nutrition. The next question is, you ever tried the apple cider vinegar? Now this one, I have tried apple cider vinegar, and I used to do it consistently for, man, every day. I was doing it religiously. I didn't like the way it tasted. I hated the way it tasted. I hated the after effect smell that it had. Now, I was doing it because I felt like it's beneficial. Some things you're like, okay, well, if it's beneficial, do it. Some people are still all for it. A pretty credible person was talking about that it's not necessarily beneficial, and I just took that and ran with it. I'm like, cool, I don't have to do it anymore. You know, it can work with anything. Just if you really don't want to do something, you can find a reason to do something and not do something. I would have said it's beneficial, but at the same time, you know, whenever we start changing things in our life, we change multiple things. So me being healthier overall might have played a role in, you know, me feeling better when taking that side of it. I just didn't like the taste of it. So I can't say it's good or it's bad. I'd say try it and see how your body feels. Some people have really bad effects to it. They throw up, they get diarrhea, things like that. So personally, I didn't have any of those. I just didn't like the way it tastes. So next question is, how do you feel about caffeine? Now, some people are really against caffeine. Personally, I feel like it depends on what type of caffeine. I would recommend all black coffee, and it depends on what you're using it for. I would use it every now and then. Maybe I personally use it as a pre-workout. That is my pre-workout. All black coffee. People are like, oh, it works, you know. So, and it's from studies that I've seen, it's pretty much healthy. It's much more healthy than a lot of the other pre-workouts that have all the extra stuff in it. It's just straight black coffee. All right. Now, it is beneficial for you if you're looking to perform, if you're looking to get up, of course. It is a stimulant, so I wouldn't say, athletes aren't supposed to just, a strength coach wouldn't just give it to the athletes for sure. But if people are taking pre-workouts anyway, I'd recommend straight black coffee. All that sugar and extra stuff in it, I wouldn't recommend it. So if you're going caffeine, I'd say go straight caffeine. Don't say I'm going to go pre-workout here, pre-workout there. I have taken pre-workouts. I do feel like some pre-workouts work, but I don't like feeling all jittery. I don't like feeling like my hands are itching. It's just personally not my thing. And if I do tell someone to take it, if I do recommend to someone to take it, I say take it when you really need it, and don't take it every single day. 1 to 2, up to 3 times a week will be best. Last question. I think I ran a little over time. Try to keep it within 5 minutes, but I talk a lot. So let's get this going. All right. Should I stretch for flexibility every day? It depends on if your goal is flexibility. If you're an athlete and you're trying to hit the splits and you're a football player, I wouldn't recommend it. You can be hypermobile. So I don't want you to be too flexible depending on what your sport is. I want you to be flexible enough to have a good amount of mobility. So I'd rather you be mobile than flexible, depending on what you're looking to do. So if you're just, I'm a yoga person and my goal is to be as flexible as possible, then yeah, that'll be something that you can do. Still, is a program that you can follow specifically for stretching, not just I'm gonna overstretch, and then how warm you are when you're stretching is huge. So don't just say I'm gonna do the whole splits cold. That's how you end up pulling stuff, right? But understand your goal, like everything else. And if your goal is to be extremely flexible, then yes, you would stretch multiple times a day, pretty much every day, depending on what your program says. But in general, no, don't overstretch. Stretching can actually cause more problems than actually help. So don't overstretch, because then from there you're gonna pull your hamstrings. I had a personal experience when I was stretching so much, and then I would always hurt. So like, what's going on? I'm stretching. Stretching is not the key. It depends on how you balance your body. I hope the people that got their questions answered got something out of it, and share it with your friends if they had the same question. Like, comment, subscribe, and show love. All right, peace.